I'm going to take your husband and fuck him 6 weeks from Sunday. Maybe when I'm done with him, you can have him back. If he wants to come back.
Dara.
This doesn't concern you. This is between me and your wife.
Benga, are you going to let her speak to me like this?
Oh, he can't help you. Now I take it that we will not need to have this conversation again.
Text you, did you take the plan B? No. I forgot.
apologize. I did not know I had myself on, while the music was playing. Y'all know the drill. Y'all can fast forward to when I come on. Welcome to another edition here on the Chaos Rain channel. As you know, I go by the name Chaos Rain here. And today we're going to have this discussion. But before I begin this rant, this dialogue, if you're new to the Chaos Rain channel, welcome to Chaos Rain channel. And for those that's going to be future subscribers, you know the drill, you know the deal, the drill. You hit that red subscribe button, you hit that top notification bell for uploads and live streams here on the Chaos Rain channel. Also, follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7 and add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. And join my Discord service of the Chaos Rain channel. All links are in the About section of this channel. And, as you know, the Discord, it is what it is. Oh, great. That's good. That's great, Jay Shine. That's great. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to look at an article. I'm going to drop the link earlier to this stream. And I think I would like everybody that's up at this time of day to get their thoughts and opinions, and we could probably have this dialogue. This should be a good conversation. So as I'm going through my little notifications and sending out necessary tweets, as you know, I like to do this every time. Gets the room nice and set up before I begin this little rant. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of my let's look what's on here. Let's see what's here. Oh, and please make sure as you're watching, please like the stream. Likes do help. Likes are free. Last time I checked, I don't think it costs you much to give a like to the stream. And hold on, let me just look around. Making sure looks like everything. And I think I found one article. I'm not gonna go into much reading this. I'm gonna say things off the dome a little bit. One thing I would say before I go into the subject, Kanye West. As y'all know, Kanye West has been trending lately on social media, the news anchors. I think Fox, NBC News, all these little outlets that's not run by us mostly. And he has things to say about, his views about white lives matters and that how Negroes are crazy and yada, yada, yada. But like I said before, and I'll say this again, Kanye West is not the face and representation of all black people. Hold on. And I'll say one thing positive about Kanye. He's an excellent producer and knows how to make music, meaning he knows how to make sound, beats, etc. Besides all the politics and all this nonsense, I want to take his advice really seriously, regardless. This guy's a billionaire, in my opinion. And reason why I say this is because, let's be honest, he already has enough issues in his own household that he can't keep in order, much less, give his take about politics and etc. He needs to really make a decision. Once you sign off with the Kardashians and they're able to control and dictate how your children are going to move, you're no longer a man of the house. You're letting the women run you. And it's very uncharacteristic to find any man that's dating out. Personally, in my opinion, he should be always in control of not only the relationship, but within his own family. Now, I know most dudes don't talk about this, but I'll talk about it. As you know, the video I did with interracialism, I think, not interracial, but it was something with, I forgot the name of it, but you can find it on my channel. It has almost 500 views. White women will tell you that having sex and relationship with you, they, in their mind, feel and hold that they're still in control. And to me, as a black man, that's a no-no. Okay, thank you. So this is a new guy. Okay. All right. Well, he left a message, so that's good enough. All right. So my thing, and I'm not gonna stay long with Kanye West personally, because how I look at it is he's not in control. So the only thing he has at the end of the day is to run his goddamn mouth. It is what it is. I don't think no person should take him seriously at this point. Only time I'll take any man seriously at this point is you gotta get your house in order. You can't sit and complain about what Kim's gonna do with your kids, especially your oldest, and going, I guess, sexualize her or try to put her on social media, and then complain about the possible outcomes of what's gonna happen to your 2 biological children and the other ones that surrogates. You gotta pick a struggle at the end as a man. You had to pick a struggle. If you sign off and know what their reputation, what they really are as a people, especially the Kardashians, you sign off that. And at the end of the day, you get what you ask for. So regardless that white lives matters, you're America. White lives always matters. They're the majority of this country. You are roughly not even 20 or 25% of the population. So we think lives gonna matter. I think white people hear that black men is talking about, white lives matter. The thing that comes to their mind is that you are a willing and controlled man. You have no thought or any logic in your head. You're trying to please the so-called more majority of the society and hope that you get something financial in return. And last time I checked, you're getting dropped left and right by not only a few athletes and entertainers like LeBron James or any other major corporations, which I can't remember off my head, but now you're what do you call it? Your sipping is not paying off in the long run. What that says about you as a man. I think you should stay on the deep, narrow path. You need to be bold and convinced. And you should be not trying to please an audience that does not respect you. The only time they respect you is when you make money for them. But if you're not making the money for them, you're out of luck, my nigga. I'm just keeping it real with you. You are out of luck. Hold on. And when you're out of luck, everything else falls. And let me write this. Hold on. All right. So let me check what's in the comment section now. Like I said, I saw Jay Shine. What's good? And I forgot this. Who else is in here in the building? 50 Cent son mother was offering $25K child support. She got greedy and want more. The courts ruled she got $606,700 and she turned her son against 50. Let's go into the math. Oh, how much is 25K? Thank you, KW Dawn 7. Let us look in our calculator. And I'm sure if I could show it on my screen. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that. Since you mentioned that, my calculator now. And I'm going to see if it'll pull up. I'm going to share my calculator. And let's look at the math of this. What is 25,000? And let me see, share. I'm not sure if this will share. I know, Jay Sean, but let's look at the calculation ourselves. Bingo. All right, let's put down Oh, let me switch this. Hide this. $25,000. Oh shit! I pressed my button. Sorry, guys. Let me do that again. All right. 25K times 12 months out the year. Yeah. That's more than the average medium income, and not only average, but that is something that an average business is the benchmarker or the target goal you should reach if you have your own small business or your entrepreneur, etc. The goal is if you could bring in 25K monthly, you're on a good spot. 300K. That's the calculator that gives me. Yep, and I saw it earlier. Peace, Mr. DA, Bill Monger. Peace to you, peace to you, peace to you. So she's getting a lot of money if she stood with him. Nor she will not get no long contract, which in the form of marriage, which really that should be a target goal for a lot of women if they're going to be dealing with any man. But we know how America is structured, how it's going, that most men, even some of us black men, we're not going to go ahead and sign off contracts that's not in our favor. So personally, in my opinion, till I do is not a fair deal, because let's be honest. Oh yeah, and yes, that is tax free. Correct. I'm Jay Sean. I'm looking at here. She was being greedy and destroyed the man's son out of spite. Yeah, and that's the whole point. And not only that, like Jay Sean said, it is tax free. So you getting money, residual income in your hands, maybe straight to your bank account monthly. No questions asked. And Jay Sean, can you remember the year when 50 promised this his first baby mama? This? Do you know the year? And as you write in the chat room, I'm gonna pull up one article. Let me see if this is the right article. No. Okay. I'm gonna pull up the article. Oh, and make sure you guys like the stream. Likes are free. Let me see if I can. Where is the article? Oh, damn it. I didn't pull up. Hold on, let me cancel. All right. Let me find it so it could linked up here. I think this is Newsweek. So let me pull it back up again. It should come up now. And before I read the article, this is like 3 days ago. Before I begin to read the article, let me put one more thing on here. And like always, keep the likes going, guys. I'm looking through both simulcasting on a lot of devices, so I'm not gonna really pay attention to a lot of things. The whole purpose and the whole goal, if you're a lady and you're with a man, and I hear a lot of things that she says she built this brother up while he was shot and yada yada and all this nonsense. And I'm thinking, in my mind, if you're building somebody up, you should be staying for the long haul, unless you have ulterior motives, in my opinion. And let's be honest, when you hear these questions about when women's telling men that I build you up in this nonsense, in the back of my mind said, okay, was you in the studio while I was busting these rhymes? Are you throwing money to me? Are you giving me connects? What value bring it that you are quote unquote saying that you're building a nigga up? These are questions we should ask ourselves, because I hear this go around too much. A lot of women say that like you invest in something and that you should be receiving in return your investment. And I'm going to say this person, and I want ladies and gentlemen hear this and hear this well and learn this well. And this is going to be unpopular. There is not always going to be guaranteed in what you ever invest in life. Life, as you know, is risky. You living on this earth, breathing as speak, is risky. The environment you're in, that you're on a small minority while everybody's majority, is very risky. In life, things are risk and you must take chances. There is no guarantee your chances are going to pan out in investment. Any man say that they're going to always get back some in investment, like 70 or 100%, they're lying to you. And lying to men and lying to women. Or any person that's pushes right that with any investment, you should get a return in the 100% or over 50 or more percent. There's no guarantees in life. Once our people, men and women of any age, 18 and up, know this and learn this well, you're going to move better and progress further in life. But those who don't know that are going to stay in the way they are. They're not going to take no risks. They're going to be stagnant, and they're going to remain the same way they are for years come. And listen to me good, young men and women, especially young men. I'm going to tell you this personally. You as a young man, always, I mean always, with the word loosely, take risk. Yes, risk it all. Yes, risk your last dollar. Risk trying to make a move, do a hustle. You're going to take risks. Life is choices and life is risk. The more you take risks, the stronger you are. Yes. Yes. And if it does not make sense now, it will make sense when you go back to this replay. You as a man in life is not only short, but you should always look to the possibilities to take some form of risk. And you should take risks whether you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship. And one thing, I had a conversation with Mr. Leko. Before I go into the topic here and read this article and then bring y'all up if y'all chose to come on the channel. He feels there's an agenda that a lot of content creators, black males and black females, are scaring young black people to not deal not only relationships, but also not go as far as be in legal marriages. Now, there is some true, but there's also some falsity. The only reason why you hear other content creators put out the negative notion telling young black men not to get married and young black women not to seek marriage or anything of significant of relationship with black men is because they're of their own experience. And with their own experience, they lead others to their damnation. Well, why I say damnation? Because most of you that go for experience have not learned a motherfucking thing. Yes, they have not learned shit. And I says with a smile on my face, you have not learned shit because life is an obstacle. Nothing is supposed to be perfect. If everything was perfect, as we know, as human beings, if we want to use this word, we would not exist. We will reach that thing of perfection and then be and cease to no longer exist and start over again. Yes. You're born and you die. It is the circle of life. So if you're born and die, that means also you as perfect beings or trying to seek perfection is never a direction most people should not waste time seeking. You should try to be as fruitful, fulfilling as possible and mitigate your mistakes while you embark in this journey, which is life, except as a whole. You know, as I was telling you, I'm just looking through this. So, you know, I hope this was clear for a lot of y'all. Anyway, let's go into the to the subject at hand and look at this article. Okay. All right, that should be it. All right. Oh wait, before I go into, I'm looking at chat room. And one thing Jay Shot always said it and said it best. And I'm gonna post this here for y'all to look at. Business is life, and life is business. Marriage is a business. So is everything you do in life. And that is Jay Shot's. Hey Jay Shot, you know what you need to do? You need to have a nice not a shirt, maybe a hoodie, and have it plaster somewhere in the back of the hoodie saying life, business is life, and life is business. And you should trademark that, bro. That should be a saying and message that should go across every subconscious mind and eyes and ears to every young man and woman that sees that message. All right. Let's look at the article. And let me take a sip of this. All right. A look at 50 Cent and son Marquise Rocky relationship and bitter exchange. Old article. And what's this? I don't know what that is. Rapper and power star 50 Cent, real name Curtis Jackson. Let me get rid of this. I want to see that dumb shit. And his son, Marquise, have famously not seen eye to eye for several years, often taking aim at one another in interviews and on social media. And now their rocky relationship is in the spotlight once again after Marquise jabbed at his father on Instagram. And mind you, 50 put out a new video on social media. And I find it to be problematic, but what do you expect? He's a single mother himself, so he's going to do childish things. And the last thing a father should do is play along and play a childish game with their own sons. It's pretty repulsive and disgusting, in my opinion. That's not a story. Let me see what's going on. Okay. In his post, he offered his father $6,700 to buy back 24 hours of one-on-one time with his father. Marquise, 25, which now has turned 26 a few days ago, posted the image online after receiving backlash for Instagram live video when he stated $6,700 was not enough money to maintain his lifestyle. Now, mind you, this is where we fail to fathers, that's fathers now or future fathers, that we should not be dependent in our finance or our situation in life. We should not be spoiling our sons and daughters. And I say daughters as well because one thing has happened to a lot of us that we become adults. We feel the world, as we know, owes us something. And the world does not owe us nothing. They don't guarantee us nothing. The world does not owe us any understanding, like KS said. And he's right. Everything you get in this world, you work hard, you fight, and you work your butt to gain and earn. Period. Everything less than that, and I mean less, you cheat yourself of anything of progressive actions to make yourself more and more valuable and a productive man. All right. I'll catch the playback. All right, cool, Jay Sean. So, let's keep going. 50 Cent has been paying over $8,000 in child support to Marquise' mother, Shaquilla Thompson. Details and TMC. And here is the money right here. Or the money that he's posting right there. This is the amount of money that he gets monthly, or his mother gets, whatever case may be. Marquise told ex-rapper Choke No Joke $7 grand, $700 a month in the state of New York City. You do the math. You're talking about a Forbes lister. You're talking about someone that has problems with everybody. You can't just live in any neighborhood for $81,000. It's not a sustainable amount of money. You can't just live anywhere. You talk about you got beef with everybody in the industries. You can't just live anywhere. Wrong. You could. And you know what? I might Google how much 81 grand goes far in all 50 states in the United States of America. Because word on the street is this adult, Mr. Young Jackson, does not live in New York City. He lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's keep going. In his latest Instagram photo, Marquise took inspiration from his father's famous broke Instagram photo, and instead of changing the note to spell entitled, let's see, did he spell it right? Maybe he didn't spell it right. Oh well. He captions the image, since y'all think $6,700 is so much money, someone tells my pops I will pay him $6,700 for just 24 hours of his time so we can do everything I ever wanted to do with him as a kid. Red, yellow, green, whatever color he likes. In response to Marquis' post, 50 Cent responded, Viva Power character Kanan posts a clip from the Star series where his character kills his son, Sean, after a fight. He captions the clip, no captions needed. And I'm not going to play that garbage. Let's keep going. This is not the first time 50 Cent and Marquise have exchanged and harsh sets of words in the public eye. What's this? Wait, hold on, guys. I'm getting a message. Oh, that's this nonsense, man. I'm about to close on my Discord a second. All right. Now, you see, this year's was wrong. I'm not sure where to get 1996. I'm getting, when I Google, it said 1996. Someone needs to get the actual date when he was born. Because I'm in here in Florida, he was born in 1998. Now I heard he was born when I Googled 1996. Now this is 1997. Where are they getting the information from? Is my question I should ask. This is not the first time 50 Cent and Marquise exchanged words. Marquise was born October 13, 1997, to parent 50 Cent and Shaquilla Thompson. However, in 2008, 50 Cent and Thompson split, and 11-year-old Marquise was at the center of a long custody battle. In the end, 50 Cent was granted to see his son 1 week per month, which I think is not enough, in my opinion, but that's not a story. In February 2007, Marquise released his debut single, Difference, which had probably flopped. And I'm not laughing and discouraging the young dude. But let's keep it real. Has anybody heard about his first single called Difference? Anybody in the chat room? Let me check the chat room. Has anybody heard about this song? I don't know. I'm just asking. I never heard of this song. Do y'all? I'm just saying. Never heard of this song. Anyway. Let's keep going. What was this? In his song, Marquise reflects on his strained relationship with his father, rapping, Lost my pops, he's still alive. In an interview with Rap Up ahead of the release of Different, Marquise explained their relationship between strange following his parents' separation. He said it's completely went south when I was probably like 10 or 11. He wasn't really around enough. It's kind of dwindling down as time went on and certain events happened. For me, I just started feeling differently about him because growing up, my dad was my superhero. He owned he's on television, he does this, he does this. He would take me to school. It was like having a father who's Superman, more or less. But then as I got older, you start realizing things or you start seeing certain patterns, and it takes an effect on your relationship with people. That's what happens with me and my father. He's still alive, but I can't tell you our last conversation and the last time we even had a dialogue. In 2014 interview on Philly morning show with Shamar and Leah, if I know I said it right, 50 Cent claims his son had embraced his mom perspective on me, which had led to the breakdown of their father-son relationship. And this is why the question should be asked. Has he failed? And let's be honest, this is not a popular conversation because I know there are many black men that are fathers right now, right? They want to admit or not, or they want to say that they're more than half don't have children, if we want to believe that. That I only know a few people that I have conversations or know that I be around nut panels and stuff do have custody of their children. Now, is that the majority of the black men that I'm telling you on this stream have? No. But the ones that I come across are one, married, or single fathers. Or some of them are, playing stepdaddy. So I have to be fair and honest that the dudes that I deal with might not have these problems. But for those, I mean those loosely, that have these problems or refuse to do anything about these problems, it is what it is. In my opinion. It is what it is. I mean, all I could tell and say, if I'd be honest, that we have to get control of the narrative. We're going to have to really step in for the safety of our future children, especially the boys. But let me finish reading this article. And let's look. Okay. Shaquilla denies the allegation, blaming 50 for mentally abusing their son. You don't have a relationship with my child because you chose not to. You want to bully him, threaten him, and talk about his mother in a disparaging manner. She wrote on Instagram in response to 50 Cent's comments explaining this, what they call it, distress thing. If I said it right. In November 2018, 50 Cent exclaims on Instagram that he would not have a bad day if his son was hit by a bus. A little egregious, but yeah. The rapper posts the comment in response to a photographer of Marquise hanging out with his longtime rival Keynote Supreme McGriff. Investigators have alleged McGriff was involved in plot to kill 50 Cent, leading to the May 2000 shooting. Okay. McGriff is currently serving a life sentence and unrelated charges. After receiving backlash online for his comment, 50 Cent took to Twitter to justify his actions. He wrote, I have zero ill will towards anyone living on this earth. The people Shaquilla's sick son looked up to and associate with a reflection of the negative energy he embraces towards me. I pay his mother roughly $1 million, $307K, in support to afford him opportunities I never had. And that's a lot of money. And usually right now, if you look at for what they said, roughly the average of raising a child in America. It's like you're looking at roughly $250K. He did double, triple that. I think quadruple, or that, and gave his mother, the baby mama, Shaquita, over $1,300,000 of that. Let's keep going. Then in April 2020, 50 Cent said he would rather have rappers Tekashi 69 as his son other than Marquise. In 2019, 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to 9 charges, including conspiracy to commit murder, armed robbery, and went on to testify against several members of the 9 Trey Gangster Bloods, working with a prosecution in hopes of receiving a reduced sentence. He received 24 months. Well, I think he said that in spite. He don't really believe that or knows that, because like anything, you don't want to be associated with no snitch. Especially a snitch is not part of your race, but you know how most fathers now, they'll say something just to anger you. Let's keep going. In 2015, he pled guilty of felony counts of use of child in a sexual performance and received a 4-year probation period and 1,000 hours of community service under. During an Instagram live stream, Marquise was asked about 6ix9ine following his release from incarceration in April 2020. And in his move to home arrest, in response, 50 Cent said, "Nah, I ain't heard from 6ix9ine. He and his mother child now. He told on everybody he better than Marquise, though. I take him before I take my actual biological son," which that's for spite. Marquise responded to his father's comment on his own Instagram live, stating he wants no part of his father claiming a rat report complex. And that's the end of this article. It's a good article. Y'all should look it up. Newsweek. Let me see. So, they have this back and forth fight. They don't see eye to eye. I don't blame them. But, it's funny. Let me find the date of birth of Marquise. How to do this? Wait, because I'm not sure where they get the information about date of births of people. But let me find Marquise's date of birth, because that don't sound right. All right. Search Marquise. See if I can find Marquise Jackson. All right. I'm going to put his last name. I found it. Now, this is what Google said. And I'm going to share this. Oh, yeah, I'm going to share this. It says here, and I'm not sure where they get the information from. They say he was born in 1997. Not from Google. And I'm not saying Google's any better, but I'm not sure where they get the information, because there's no accurate number of how old these guys are. And some parents don't know how old their children are. Let's keep it real. It says here, Marquise Jackson, born October 13th. A few days ago was his birthday. He's Libra. He was born in 1996. Where did 1997 come from? I'm not sure where these people get their information from, but up here you could simply do a search engine and it'll tell you. And you want to know real proof? Let's go to Marquise Instagram. Yes. Oh, yes. Where's Marquise Jackson Instagram? Matter of fact, yes. Let's look at the young brothers' Instagram. Okay. Y'all gonna find something interesting on this. Is this one? Yeah, this is not right. Let's go to Reels. No, that's not right. Oh, guys, let me find his IG, man. Come one time, he does have IG. Let me find it. I'm trying to find his IG, guys. I think this might be the one. Or is this? Yeah. This is weird. Let me give me one second, guys. I gotta find this. This gotta be it. It's gotta be it. I should do this earlier. Yep, I found this at IG. Okay, let me find, and this will dispel the myth that these people don't know how to do their fucking research. I'm gonna scroll down. I found his IG. Now they say this young man is 25 years of age, born 1997. Is that right? Is that really right? I'm scrolling down right now. I'm going to find this. Or better, I might have to go to Marquise's mother, because she actually shows it. Because the mother knows how old their son is. Yeah, I'm going to do that. All right, this is what I'm going to do. Where is Shakita Thompson? Found her. This is what we're going to do, people. This is what we're going to do. We're going to spell that myth. Right now, I'm going down because the mother did this. Found it. Okay, they said that this man is 25 years of age, right? More in 1997. Is that true? Is that really true? What's this? What is this? Let's share this. And everybody's in the chat room, if you're not knowing, you gotta listen to the conversation. They said in the article this man is 25 years of age. What's this? And as y'all know, I want y'all to pay attention to what that is. And this is why I'm not sure people do math properly. They said he was born October 13, 1997, right? Why I see this? 21 years, happy 20th-year birthday. When was this post? October the 14th, 2017. Now, if my math suits me right, if you're born in 1997, what age you'll be before you turn 20? Matter of fact, I'll do y'all something better. So let's say y'all watching this. Let me stop this. I'll do you one better, because we got to do the math. And like I said, not only we put out information, but we must do the numbers. And this is something that most of us should learn back in elementary school. And, I don't reveal secrets, but I'm going to do a little teaching here. And it's something you can learn. You could probably Google it yourself. Possibly. Yeah. That question. All right. Marquise was born in 1977, right? 2022 subtracted by 1997. He'll be 25, right? So when you subtract 7 from another 7 a generation ago, you get 25. But from the image you see there, and his birthday, his 21st birthday, that was taken in 2017. 2022 subtracted by, I'm at my fact. Go back. Sorry. Let me clear that. 2017 subtracted by 2022. Now, this thing is acting up. Let's see if I can correct this. Let me clear it. I think it should work now. 2022 subtracted by 2017. Hold on, the calculator's giving me something. All right. Let me see if it'll fix it now. 2022. Oh, actually, matter of fact, 2022. No, matter of fact. I know I'm doing wrong. Sorry, guys. I'm overthinking. 2017, yes, subtracted by 1997. Yeah. You'd be 20. But it says, but the image show from a mother said, "Happy 21st birthday." Marquise is not 25 this year. He turned 26. He was born in 1996, not 1997. So there is a grave error. They're getting this from their father. His father doesn't even know how old his son is. He's off by 1 year. By 1 year, mind you. Now, that might be a calculation by his half, but, they have not a really close relationship, so it is what it is. So that's a little math for y'all. And y'all can apply this on anything. So if you're not sure how old your kid is, your son and daughter, or even yourself, because, some adults don't know how old they are nowadays, surprisingly. But that's another story. You want to know how old you are now? You take the present year and you subtract it by the year you're born. So let's say Curtis Jackson was born 1975. 2022, clear that, subtracted by 1975. He's 47 years old there. Any questions? Any questions? Yes. No questions. And that photo was from the mother celebrating her oldest son's birthday, Marquise Jackson, back in 2017 on his 21st birthday. The man's not 25. He's 26 this year. He turned 26 a few days ago. So not sure where these people are getting that information from. They're not really doing real thorough research. They're going by word of mouth. They're not even doing Google search. They're not doing even deeper research. Hell, they're not even looking at some of the Instagram and following these pictures and what's on the subtitles of these pictures. And that's problematic. At least if we're going to have this conversation, we at least got to get the numbers right of how old some persons are. Just to be fair. Make sure you guys keep it like stream. What should I do? I'll drop the link now for those who want to come up and have the conversation. Let me see if I get anybody on the line as well. Okay. And one thing, let me get my good friend Amir Brown here. If he's up, he might be asleep, but we'll see. Is he on the line? Yeah, he's. See if he's on the line. Get his take on this. And anybody else want to have them hear from people that are fathers or soon be fathers, or anybody that just want to have their own opinion. As I'm waiting, looking. Okay. I'm looking now. All right. He's busy. Let me see if I can get someone else on here. Let me see if I can get Tyrone on here. Where's Tyrone Thompson? Actually. Or get Dita Rep. All right. Don't mind me, guys. Seeing who's on the phone line. Okay. All right. Let me try one more person. All right. I know he'll answer. Exit.
Hey, what's up?
What's good, Tyrone? I'm on the air now, live here on my channel. Question, Tyrone. I'm not sure we talk about this thing with 50 Cent and Marquise, their on-go battles. In your mind, Marquise Jackson and 50 Cent, son and father.
Oh no, I ain't even paying attention to that. Man.
Well, what's going on is the son is feeling that he's entitled, and one of the few things from his rant that has been picking attention for our social media is his father supplied him and his mother $6,700 a month in so-called child support, right? That in total is 80 grand a year, right? When they split back in 14 years ago, I believe. And for him, he feels in his mind was never enough, right? And I can't go in details why him and his mother really fall off. I gotta find videos on it. Not really focus here. But the point is this, that the boy's crying out for something, and him going back and forth, very much immature for all social media about, their relationships. That's not really, good. Regardless, he doesn't have a good relationship with his son. And, he does play,
How old is his son?
His son just turned 26 a few days ago.
Okay, well, I mean, both of those are grown men. And, I mean, even though you account for the fact that he's his child and all that kind of stuff, both of them as adults should be able to work this out. Why this guy's going to social media, I guess because 50 Cent has taken a hard line about supporting them. But those grown-ass men should be able to work this out, man. They should be on social media, talking about this shit, Me? I don't know.
Well, I said best that, and I asked this question because you're a father yourself to actually adult children now. Because last one just turned adult like 2 years ago, or actually a year and a half ago. Actually, my mask was off. That do you, in your mind, feel that 50 Cent has failed as a father, from your perspective?
No, I wouldn't say that, Gary.
Okay.
Because the reason I wouldn't say that is because nobody knows how people raise their children, right? And if he's been in his life as a dad, and all of a sudden as an adult they having this disagreement, we can't say that he's failed as a father. Well, I wouldn't say it anyway because I don't know what went on as that guy was growing up.
Okay. I should probably open the lines, and I know people are on the other conference call. I asked them this question. I'll think of it. I might not yet. But I'm asking you personally because you're a father. Besides someone that's probably active, That
Yeah, but my overall point is people family situations are personal, man. And for them to get on social media and people start analyzing it, I just don't, I don't dove into that. Of course, I would probably make a joke out of it or something, but from my heart as a dad, we can't sit up here and judge another parent. So it's like, is the kid on drugs or anything like that? Or
I think with him, because and mind you, we got to understand and know that 50 Cent was raised by his single mother as well. So there's some behaviors that he caught on, and knowing he has not resolved himself. But like I said, once you become a father, there's some things as a man, regardless of you making money, you have to improve yourself in other aspects. You can't just leave out the aspect of you make money. That's it. No. To be fully developed as a man or a human being, you gotta take more than just the money aspect. Self-improvement, self-reflection has to be everything. You know what I'm saying? How you carry yourself, how your demeanor, how you social with others. That's an ongoing process. You get me? And I think he didn't really, he has not grasped or took the initial effort to put in the work for that, besides making money. And nothing wrong with making the money, but as men, depending on your age, you have to go beyond the money. You know what I'm saying? Personally. Yeah. Because
so, I mean, I'm asking, has the kid, fell by the wayside, or is the kid doing good?
I mean, I guess he did follow in regards to being an artist. He came up with a single, but that was like 4 years ago that no one doesn't know of. So, I mean, I'm not sure what he's doing financially. I'll tell you one thing. He is crying for some form of help in regards to really reach out to his father. But like I said, 50 doesn't know how to really deal with him because they have a certain ongoing beef that's immature. And it's really reflective. And here's the funny
thing. And we ain't taking into account that that's a whole different class of people, man. You talking about people that are rich.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how rich people handle their situation, but that guy's asking for, you said $6,000 a month or whatever.
Well, and not only that, he thinks that is not only enough, but he thinks that his father should continue giving him this money or more for whatever, as long as he's alive. And
the average person can't request it.
I know, but and the problem I have with this is not only the entitlement, but my biggest issue that, and you could probably answer this better, that there should be a point as parents, present or future, that where do we draw a line, say is a necessity if we got like that we should spoil our children, that they feel they should be guaranteed this. Where do we draw a line?
I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. If I had it like that, I would spoil the shit out of my kids. I know people won't agree with that, but I would, man. If I had it, I would give it because I know what it was to come up, man. And I just would. That would be just me,
Oh, really? Okay.
I would spoil the shit out of them. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't, make them learn about responsibility and earning their own money. But if I had it like that, I mean, shoot, why not?
Yeah, why not? Really. Hello, I see you online, Mr. Williams. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, man? Chaos, you can hear me?
Yeah, you sound muffled, but you're good right now.
Yeah, Chaos, I just come up here to tell you, you a bitch. Fuck you, hoe.
Oh, God. Can y'all guys come up and engage in conversation? We don't want no insults.
Oh, man. Fun on the internet, huh?
I tell you, it's a joke, man. It's like, we gotta take this a little bit more seriously. But, I guess people want to troll. I mean, it's a free country. Yeah, but like I said, personally, I wouldn't spoil them, in my opinion. I don't see the significance.
You said you wouldn't?
No. I think every child should try to appreciate every dollar they get. Like they worked on something, in my opinion.
Right.
If you just give it to them, they're not going to respect it, in my opinion.
I agree with that, man. I mean,
yeah. So,
but I mean, those guys got big money that that they're able to floss like that. I'm not able to floss like that. I mean, the conversation of even asking for $6,000 a month, I don't even know how that even comes about. I struggle. I don't. I ain't rolling like that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, but like I said, every person parents differently to their children.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with 50, because he felt he never had it, so he want to give it all to his first kid and any kid that he has. And here's what I think. When I read Newsweek, it said it best that in total he gave his baby mama, because he does pay the child support stuff, over $1,360,000 total for the time that he was still monitoring him and his son. That's way more than the average. Most people that pay child support, that's they said average for a child is like $250,000, which I don't know where they get this number from, and he did way above that. One time, even the relationship between him and the baby mama, where he states himself that he gave his baby mama $25,000 a month while he was with him.
And Gary, when it comes to child support, right? That's a percentage of the person that's making the most money's income, right? So that percentage,
but
you have to look up the child support system, and whatever that percentage is, it's not like half your pay or anything like that. It's like I'm going to say maybe a quarter or less than your pay. So if he's able to give them $1 million in total, I mean, he still was able to maintain whatever he was making. It ain't like he was going broke paying those people. So you got to think about how much money he was making compared to how much he was paying for child support. It's a lot to us because we don't have it, but I'm pretty sure it didn't hurt 50 Cent, or else you would have been hearing about it.
Well, you gotta understand, he was not paying this in child support $25,000 to her. That was when they were together still. But when she tried to, I guess, go to get child support and end the relationship and want to put him on child support, right? That she felt, while living in the state of New York at that time, that she was going to get like a good percentage of wherever he makes, right? But the state of New York, there's a certain percentage, and he made above that, so she only qualifies at that under 17% percentage in New York, which was $6,700.
Yeah, I mean, she probably want more because he's 50 Cent,
Well,
There's probably some greed there, and there's probably some manipulation going on. So, because we know, I know that 50 Cent is probably made way more than that, and probably can afford it, but because he's not giving it up easily, they taking it through the public, through the court, and trying to get what they can out of him. That's what some people do sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff from his son could be nefarious, could be trying to get what his daddy got and all this kind of shit. I don't know,
Yeah.
You know how people do.
Yeah, man. And even to the point where she feels say you're gonna take care of me forever. And let's be honest, to get that, you're gonna have to get married, sweetie. If you want.
That's some bullshit there.
I mean, well, listen. So if women think that they're entitled forever, and let's be clear. I had a conversation with Mr. Leko, and he was married to a few women. He was married to one wife. I don't know how many times he got married. I think one time he got married. I could be wrong. And he said he still is friends with his first wife, and sometimes he helps him any way she can, right? And that's his decision. But modern and normal average men are not going to do that. You get me? Once relationship dissolves, you're on your own, sweetie. And a lot of women.
You can't afford to take care of nobody like that. Well, the average person can't afford to take care of nobody like that.
But a lot of women say that if, depending on the economic situation of the man they deal with, if things go south, whether it's infidelity or it's money issues or she just got bored and tired, they feel that you as a man, you're entitled to take care of them while they move on with life, find another man, possibly, maybe, fucking suck, and maybe go as far as get married to the man and thinks that, they get another man to support them.
all that is some straight bullshit. I mean, you break up. That's the end of it. You ain't obligated to do all that.
Listen. Tyrone, a lot of women in America, they feel it's their God-given right, not entitled, that you need to do so as a man.
Well, that's unfortunate. I don't know. If people feel like that, then that's just not fair.
I mean, I agree. Life is not fair, but that's and then at the end of the day, we have choices, brother.
Uh-huh.
And if women think that they're entitled to a man's wallet after the relationship dissolved and they're not even married and there's nothing in fine print where you get some alimony dependent if you have not worked for over 10 years or greater, then yeah, you're entitled to something, but you're not entitled to everything.
Well, wait a minute now. You're talking about two different things. You're talking about a breakup of a relationship versus a breakup in a marriage.
Yeah. They're two different things. You're right.
Marriage, that's something different. Then yeah, you're supposed to pay something. But
Yeah, you got to pay something. You got to pay something. That's why a lot of dudes are not going and willing to go get married because they don't want to, say they want to risk getting all this nonsense, which I understand. But here's the problem: if you're not getting married in America, let's have this conversation. If you're not getting married, so by default, you're going to be creating single mothers.
Well, I had this conversation with who was that the other night?
ABC?
Somebody with Joshua or somebody when they were saying that because I'm single and dating that I'm creating single mothers.
Okay.
And
to you?
I mean, listen to what I'm saying. My youngest child is 20 years old, so that means at least for 20 years they ain't made no baby. So whenever people say that you're dating and creating single mothers, that's just not
true. Yeah.
Because if you're being careful and all of that kind of stuff, then you don't create no babies.
Correct.
I mean, so that's not everybody's story if they're single,
I agree. And how I look at it, Tyrone, is that now everything you do if you're a single man that you was looking to say, I'm going to either wife from another woman if I choose to, or I'm going to create more children out there. Usually when a man gets one kid from one woman and then the relationship is all, it takes a lot for a man to go out there and think, I'm just going to start over and then create another family and then have to deal with another mouth to feed. I don't care what his economic situation is, because that's taking more time out of your day, maybe more of an expense, because you have to financially support some child that's yours. You get me?
Right. And what I'm trying to argue is that whenever single people out here and people saying that you're creating single mothers, I don't think that that's true, because you don't necessarily have to make babies every time you have sex. That's not a thing, but that's the way people put it, and that's just not. I think it was ABC I was talking to about this. Yeah, so, but there's this narrative out there that single people are creating all these children, and I don't know, maybe irresponsible people, but people who are responsible and handle their business, and you don't go out to create a whole bunch of babies,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, one thing is clear. Hold on a second. Sorry about one thing I do want to say this is at the end of the day, I look at 50's situation and I say, as a man that got money like that in millions, he should have made more of a push initiative that if the relationship is not that good and you feel that the mother might have that great influence, is your responsibility to take full custody of your children, because you have the resource and the money now, in my opinion. And I see the games that someone will play against their sons and towards the fathers, but there's no excuse that if you're not gonna be involved enough and you're gonna have to make the great sacrifice. Say, you know what, for the sake of the mindset and development of my child, especially the boy, it better off he stays with me for the remainder of his development. I'm saying, especially once he gets up there in age, he should not be around you for this lengthy time and just giving child support you just raise up. We see the results now, and let's be honest, Tyrone. I mean, some women are accustomed to, depending on the relationship with the father, we'll use it against the children against the father, just for other.
Well, that's not every situation, though.
I said some. I can't say all.
There's a bunch of no good women out there, just like there's a bunch of no good men out there. I know men that ain't never seen their children, man.
Well, those are deadbeats. You know what I'm saying? And we got them. Don't get me wrong, we got them. I ain't gonna keep them off the hook off that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But overall, we're talking about the ones that want to be involved. Mostly the ones that's deadbeats. You can't fix a deadbeat. If he decides to not want nothing associated with the child, you can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? We wish that things played out better. And I think women nowadays, if they knew or not, let's be honest. women have choices, and each choice have consequence. And a lot of these dudes, they complain about a lot of women, especially black women today, that they feel these women should be picking them, the productive, the square against wherever black men, and said these men that are not productive, they have the swag and all the other, things they like, which really is social programming, to be honest with you. Because for you as a woman to sit there, we'll choose that, and someone that's really being about something, doing something productive. I mean, that's the only answer I can say, that you're being social engineering programmed. Because
I mean, those guys that think that, man. I mean, to me, I don't even deal with that, because I think that's like a weak mentality. That's just me. I think it's a weak mentality, because those guys are giving up and not really searching for the person that could suit them. So that just, I mean, I'm a go getter, man. If something don't work right for me, then I'll try again until I find what works for me. But whenever you say that these guys are out there saying what you just said, I look at those guys as weak, man. That's just.
Yeah, I mean, it's a form of weakness, and really, truly, it's more than that. I mean, it's something psychologically wrong with a lot of our people. Some of the men that don't understand that you have to be involved. No one said to be there every day, but you have to put some input in the development of your children. Is vital now. It's a necessity now. You can't overlook that and escape that now. We've seen the results of the community.
And another thing is everything is not perfect, right? So you're not going to be that person to get in a perfect relationship. So if you realize that your relationship is failing and it's not going to work, ain't no use to crying over spilled milk. Go build another one. Try to find somebody that's more suitable for you, so you can have what you want. But I don't think people should be whining and crying about it, because you got the ability to go out there and create what you want. That's the whole beautiful thing about being a human. You create whatever you want. You don't sit up here and wallow in pitifulness and all this kind of crap. But look here, man, I got to get off here.
All right.
I'll holler at you.
All right, cool. We'll talk later. That's Howard Thompson, guys. Okay. Let me see. Oh, and I know there's some few ladies in the chat room. Faith, if you want to come up. No, yeah, it's interesting to hear from a woman's perspective, but we all know y'all ladies gonna say the same thing. But it wouldn't hurt y'all in the building to come up and give y'all take if 50 Cent is a failed father. My opinions about it, I'll tell you at the end of this. I want to hear from y'all personally. Let me see if I can get Mr. Terrence on here. And I might get Cerulean on here if I feel it's necessary. Peace, Terrence. What's good, Terrence? You there?
Not too much.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. And mind you, we're live on my channel. From your opinions, I know you don't keep up with social media and all that's going about. Do you, in your opinion, feel or think that 50 Cent has failed as a father to his first?
No, what it is he played by when he didn't have no money. He was just trying to, culture and develop his rap skill. He got involved with a very immature woman. And then he had a child by her. And she didn't want to work. She felt entitled, just like the son does. And I think I think the best thing he could have did was intervene and tell her, look, how about if I give you X amount of millions a year? And you give me custody of him. Because it's her who groomed him like this entitlement. He gets like what? $8,000 a month.
No, he gets $6,700. That was the thing that he was supposed to give. Total $80,000 a year.
Right. Now 50 said that he knew he was into gym shoes, so he saw this company that was going out of business, and they had a large inventory. So he bought the inventory and had it shipped to him in a big truck with all these shoes. And he said this stuff sat in that warehouse for a long time, and he didn't do nothing with it.
Oh, Thank you for mentioning. I forgot about this. For those that's not knowing, and there was a video that 50 Cent talked out his own mouth about that him and his son were having this conversation. I think this is when he was finishing high school or he was in college. This is like years ago. Because he seen that he likes shoes, right? And you know, saying that at the time they were still living in New York. He moved back to New York, 50 at that time. And saying, you know, son, since you like sneakers and shoes, there's this vacant place that's no longer used, right? Why don't we set the shop for you? I have a warehouse, buy the shoes, you sell them not only in your store, the physical store, but also online. Now, mind you, his son was a stat and say, yeah, that's a good idea. And he had no problem. But like I said, he's been raised by the mother. So anything of a good idea that the father puts out to him and he agrees to, he goes back and tells what? His fucking mother. And his mother said, oh no, I got something better. Let's set up a boutique.
Right, clothing boutique.
Yeah. And because, like you said, Terrence, work ethics. She don't have that. Nor she said that she was raised by a 2-family household, right? And went to school and all stuff. Okay. So why is it you as a woman that says you was raised by structure, right? What you doing with a alleged Pookie or Ray Ray like a 50 Cent that got shot? Now, mind you, I'm gonna get some flack for this. I don't want the woman to kill me. But if that's what she said, that's what she was. And mind you, the movie that came out, Get Rich or Die Trying, that came out over 20 years ago, right? That's based off his life. He had to sign off with his baby mama to have her on the film and don't really reveal the actual truth about her.
Hold on, so the lady that paid his wife or his girl in the movie is the real girl?
No, because there's certain rights, copyright rights, some rights that if you're going to put somebody in a film and portray them a certain way, you have to have them sign off. The same thing with, what's that name? The one with Mike Tyson's first wife? I forget.
Robin Givens.
Yeah, and she didn't want certain things portrayed by her on the Hulu series you see now.
Right.
So what it is that from what 50 said that she during time when he got shot, remember he was under a record label at the time, and he signed for certain publishing rights to sell off. That was a total of 80 grand, right? And that he got by for the whole year while he was still healing, mind you. And he said that his baby mom didn't really do much, nothing at all. Besides work a little simple job and all stuff, which I will take his word for it, you know, because when women talk about what she is, and I'm looking at a reflection of the outcomes, it doesn't add up. You get me?
Right. I'll tell you, if he could do everything again, the one mistake he made was when he recognized that she was trifling, he should have, I don't care, I mean, I pay an extra couple $1 million just to get my son. I don't give a damn because at least you got a son that's productive. You can take him under your wing. He can help you with some of all these projects he's doing. Because, and then I think the son kind of feels some kind of way because he done took Lil Meech under his wings. Because Lil Meech even had something to say about it. That, you know, that amount of money, somebody said, well, that ain't his place. I mean, but y'all don't understand that Big Meech's father has been locked up for years. So 50 Cent is a closer thing to a dad he didn't have.
Yeah.
And then it helps Pops because he looking for this money for this appeal so that they can let him out of jail early for the COVID because his brother been out since last year.
Okay.
Due to the COVID situation in jail. And you know, by his son being on the payroll, he was asking somebody, he was asking one of them rappers for like 31,000.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't even come through. All these people he reached out for when he had all that money, none of them came through. So with his son working with 50 with the BMF movie, that now he can, you know, when the series continues on, when season 2 begins, he can just give his father that money and pay, you know, the legal transactions, and he can get out of jail.
Oh, so it's like royalties you get off that. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. My thing with Marquise Jackson, And this is what happens when a lot of fathers don't snatch away from you.
Freaking brat.
Yeah, this is why a lot of fathers need to be, but they're going to have to probably take full custody, especially with the resource he has. Is that you created a monster that should not have been created, especially you and the baby mom have issues, and you know how she is. The only thing she's going to do is she's going to influence the boy. You know,
right. That's why I say that even though it would cost him, he got plenty of money.
Right.
If he $5 million a year, he wouldn't even miss that shit.
Hell no, he wouldn't miss that junk. I would get listen. Yeah.
That's what he should. Look, I give you $5 million a year. Give me custody of him.
I would give her $2 million. I would give her $2 million because here's a secret that you know, Terrence. 50 while they were together, while he started to really make some serious money back in 2020, 2002, 2001, 2002, going 2003, right? He was giving his baby mama, Miss Shanika Thompson, $25,000 a month. That equals $300K a year. Now, mind you, that's what while still being with him. You get $300K, guaranteed. You can do whatever with that money, right? But because they were falling out, in her mind, she feels she's owed more than she's supposed to get.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, he had to give her that, but because they're together, it makes sense to give that. And that's actually fair. So imagine I would say we fight for custody about it and he won, right? Instead of that, he should just gave her, in my opinion, and this is why I said if 300K is that much, then most 50 could be lenient and liberal, give you over $2 million and give you wherever every year, guaranteed. Move a bit. Because let me tell you why she should get more. Because when a woman doesn't really do nothing and think 300 is not enough, give her more than she is. She's going to not only spoil it, but she's going to ask more. That's how I see it. But let me read these comments. I see people writing comments now. I didn't hear all the commentary, but I personally think his son is out of pocket. Yes, he is, Faith. He should have completely slandered her in the film, so he made her kind of a saint, and she signed up. Let me tell you, Uncle Diggity. As men, I'm be real with you, because it's his baby mama or wifey. We don't want to be putting out portrays more than we should of the real truth, especially in our relationships. Because, to be honest, we don't want a woman that has a real life movie and puts a man in a negative life. We don't want that. So it's only fair that we do the same. And last time I checked, and I could be wrong. You probably know this better, Terrence. But most women that's in a relationship with their baby fathers or husbands and they make it big, you ever seen them portray the man on the opposite end negative? From your understanding?
I had to think of an example. I can't think of this.
And listen, Uncle Diggity, if you know any movies that a woman that just made it big and she was in a relationship with a husband or a boyfriend portraying them in negative life, please put down the movies so I could look them up. Let's keep going. Once my child got older, I would have returned to work, put some of that money away in the trust for our son, and invest the rest. Yeah, and that's what most of us should be started doing if they have kids. And you deal with a man that is making a quarter or becoming a multimillionaire. That's what you should be doing with the money. Next one. I still think 50 should have set up trust for all his kids. You know what? I think he has. I'm not sure if Marquise is going to be put in the will and the trust because the relationship they have between the two. I think personally, he should get something small, nothing great. Because let's be honest, at 26, this is the age where he is now that life should start to hit him, and he should have more of a clear understanding because that brain, that development should start hitting him now to really start reflecting.
Hold on a second. Yeah. Don't he got two sons by now, or just one?
He has two kids. One from a sister and one from a mixed woman, I believe.
Right. Okay. So Marquis, this is his oldest.
The oldest. He's the oldest. Right. He's in his mid-20s now. The other one, I think, is like 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like I said,
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about the oldest one that he apologized and backtrack what he said about that the 6,700 wasn't enough. He said he basically rescinded that statement because did you hear about that? He was acting for some extra money.
No, I heard about
it. Say why?
No, I never heard that.
And 50 Cent had a good idea. So 50 Cent know he likes jewelry because that's what he's spending his money on. So he went to this jeweler, and his son was trading in something that he paid $1,800 for something that cost like $2,900 to $3,000. Okay. And right when he got ready to pay the guy, guess who walked into the jewelry shop?
His father.
Yep. He took out. Never mind the transaction. I changed my mind.
Wow.
So jewelry. That's where your priorities is.
Wow, I did not know that. That's
right. It's just a downside about being a rapper because let's face it, all rappers start off with no money.
Yeah.
So the women they mess with don't have money.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then when they mess with somebody like that, and then when they get coming to the stardom with all this money, and then you got a baby by her, so you know, you got to pay her off.
Yeah, gotta pay her off, man. I mean, you know, it's funny, Terrence, that a lot of people nowadays, cause you know, this thing going around with a lot of certain male content creators, teaching and coaching men not to get married or even go as far as have relationships. You know, I have problems with that because it's creating a certain antisocial being that maybe even go as far as becoming more of an incel with that type of rhetoric. But it's deeper than that, is that as long as you're a male functioning in society, I mean, life is choices and life is relationships, you know? And if these young men are not pursuing relationships besides doing other endeavors, you're setting them up for disaster. It should not be a point where a man just sit there looking and trying to get the easy play or pay for the play, you know, some transaction. You know, I'm not with the transactional type of thing where dudes pay a woman just to get some box and then keep pushing. You know, I don't like that. I think you should work in your own way to really get it without throwing any money at it. Because if you go solely on the transactional stage of things, then you're gonna be a trick. You know, and I know other groups of men do this, but as a black man, you're unique. You're special, in my opinion. Other men should be paying for it because they're not the black man. As a black man, you go and get it. If you put yourself in the right position, you should get it for free. The only time you pay for something is maybe it's something that's long term, maybe, and it's usually someone that's in your relationship or a wife, maybe. But regardless, you had to sit and pay for box. I mean, personally, in my opinion, it's beneath you as a man, you know. Because listen, sex is needed, but it's not a necessity. You know, you get as a form of a reward from what you've done to earn it. You know, if you got to pay for it, I mean, it defeats the purpose. And to me, how I look at one of these so-called gurus that's persuading people to not get married or in relationships. I would have to agree with Mr. Lakewood that you are working for the master, Mr. White Man, to see divide and conquer, and don't want black people to have strong, wholesome relationships, in my opinion. You know, this is just me, but like I said, every person thinks differently. I mean, I would not advise some man to say, you know, don't get married or do other things opposite, because that's counterproductive. I mean, you could take your time and energy to more productive things. And I think chasing tail and paying for tail automatically is not productive. Either we have the money or not. You should be like anything, taking risk and taking rejection. Rejection is part of life, is part of risk. And I think a lot of human beings today, Terrence, are avoiding the rejection side of things, especially the males. When women gets rejected, bro, it's dangerous. I get it. I've seen it. I heard stories about it. But you as a man, you get rejected, it's nothing. Life moves on. So get comfortable of being uncomfortable as a man, young black man, becoming in the stage of man. You know, If you can't accept that life is gonna throw your bone and you're gonna get rejected by the few women that you're sexually attracted to, I have no answer for you, baby. I'm sorry. I mean, I just don't. I mean, yes, that's what Virgil, excellent Virgil. That's the point. People have been manipulated into being afraid to fail, and that's dangerous. I wish you came up on here to explain more clearly, Virgil, but I'll read your comment. That's very dangerous, Virgil. Life is going, anything you do, you're going to fail. And one thing as human beings we have not learned is how to not only resolve, but how to overcome failure. You think you're not going to fail as a black man in this society, right, in America or abroad? You are delusional. And I think you need to get your head examined. I mean, Terrence, I'm not sure how many times you try something you fail, if you want to be honest. Right?
Yeah, you gotta keep on pushing.
Yeah. And I think one thing as people, we're especially young men, we can say women, but men, that we're not even making an attempt to say, I'm going to fail. Now, mind you, we'll take risk on other things. That's always characteristic, but still, you should be risking every little thing. You get me? Marriage is business. Like Jay Sean said, business life and life is business. And a lot of people don't really engage in that business because they feel that everything's going to be everlasting and there should be no failures where it ends and somebody gets paid out. That's the whole beauty of engaging in business. Someone wins, somebody loses, and you got to pay off eventually. Now, I don't say you're going to give a person 100% of what you earn, but you got to give them something for the sake of the time and energy that they can spend it on. Another comment. 50 Cent should have instilled independent mindset in his son as a long time ago. And I think a lot of parents, Faith, let's be honest. A lot of us, we don't think of instilling anything in our children. That's why our children that got it, they're going to not only fail, but they're not going to overcome the failures. And they think the world owes them something. And the world does not. That's why you look at a lot of millionaires today, new millionaires or existing millionaires. Why, if you look at the parents that got it, and a lot of people get mad why they won't let their children get any inheritance. I can see why. You didn't work to get this. And they give you this applies to all, even the people that's non-black that gets inheritance. In my opinion, they should work. Every person that makes millions, billions of dollars, they should be at a stage that they should groom their children up so they know what to do to possibly get it or develop a working habit. If you're not doing so, you should not be so eager to hope to give inheritance and let them start off on a higher slate. No, everybody should be scrapping at this point. And how the economy is going now, if you're not teaching children to start scrapping now, they're never going to get it.
Right. A lot of them rich, well-to-do, whites, they don't just give their children something. It's like it's a two-way street. Mm-hmm. Here's the money, but then here's the input on your part. Mm-hmm. So they just don't just give them money. It's the golden man. Mm-hmm. I ain't giving you this money so you can go spend and buy expensive things. No, I'm giving you money so you can learn how to manage it and how to conduct business with it. Mm-hmm. and success. Mm-hmm. That's why you see all these big rich families like the Rockefellers and the Kennedys. You see one generation after the next to the next. They keep inheriting and keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and the funny thing with the Kennedys and the Rockefellers, I mean, I'm not sure how they groom their children, but there's something that they do enough that if they're going to pass on anything, they're not passing on to everybody. They're going to give them a certain subsidies. And the ones that really could push for it, I think, in my opinion, they divide the money well enough to know so someone's going to take it over and make it more than what it is.
Yeah, which has happened.
Yeah. So the ones that fell off, other families in a family that's really rich and are in the stage of wealthiness will still get by. But the ones that fall out, because that's, and think about this, Terrence. This is why if you look at most people that's rich, they have a lot of kids now. Don't be fooled that they have less kids. No, they have kids. They have kids. Don't be fooled. Because they know that the odds of possibility and average. One of them is going to be a successor and one of them is going to be a fucking loser and failure. It is what it is. You think 100% of your children is going to do very well and very successful. You're wishing for that, but in life, that's not a guarantee. Yeah. So the more kids you have and you groom right, you increase the odds. That's how it works. I think one dude that is that's a reporter, I forgot, from one news anchor, he's a Vanderbilt. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, because he's a Vanderbilt, don't think that he's getting like a serious inheritance from his family. He tells you, and let's be honest, he probably has, and he's not gonna keep real. But he says personally that because he has kids, that he's not gonna really be eager to give his children what he worked hard, something down.
No, that's how you teach them the same work ethic that you displayed, and then once they exhibit their work ethic and you start to reward them, then they know that if I exert even more in a greater level of work ethic, I get more money. That's how they get them. Because like Rockefeller, like they had Standard Oil, but the key thing was the railroads. So what Rockefeller did, this is the first Rockefeller. He went to the foremen or supervisors to all the railroad companies and traded a bribe with them, and then he went to his other oil, because he wasn't the only person. Standard Oil wasn't the only game in town at that time. So he went to the supervisors of some of the other oil companies and told them that if they sabotage the business, and then he'd buy them out and let them run the whole position and let them run the company themselves. With, of course, them getting the most money though, and they did it. That's how he got rid of all his competitors in the oil business. And then the way he did his son was he would give them money and then con them out of it, just to show them how to be savvy with money. So it's like, I mean, I've seen some of us do stuff like that. Like it's a friend of ours. Well, he's not my friend, but he's a friend of one of my friends, and he deal with hedge funds. And hedge funds is like 30 million and up. And he got his son in college, graduated, and now his son working with him at the office. Just like that.
Wow. Okay.
So now he's learning hedge funds, and he gonna have the advantage over his father, because his father didn't have nobody to groom him into the business like he groomed his son into it. I mean, my father was a millionaire, but he just was a shithead. Didn't leave me nothing.
I know if I was a millionaire, I would have some information. That's good. I mean,
because a friend of mine that I asked him to hire him, the so-called friend was stealing from him, and since he was doing me so wrong himself, he felt that I put somebody else up to do it. But that was only his guilt talk thinking, because he didn't do me right.
Okay.
And I never got a chance to make that right with him, because I would drive the Whole Foods normally, but this day I decided to take the train. And I see one of the guys that used to work for him, and he was like, "Man, how could you do that to your father? How could I do what? You know what you did?" I said, "Man, what you talking about? You know what you did to your father?" I said, "Dude, what are you talking about? You put that boy up to steal from your father, and your father figured that he'd rather let the white folks have everything than you."
Okay. I see.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
He could have easily did a will. Like I said, between my mother and father, I should have had about over 2 million. Easy. Because my mother, she got like a $250,000 pension, and she had a condo that was worth $175. When she got the pension, she didn't pay off the condo. The balance wasn't much at all. and she ended up refining after she lost the money, and because her mother loved her some Europe. She did.
Yeah.
She loved them people, and my thing. Now she worked for AT&T. Now AT&T was proven, and they gave you a $65,000 insurance policy, $250,000 pension, free medical, free eye, and free dental.
Wow.
That's proven. Dean Woodard ain't did jack. And so what happened was when you poured all your money out your pension, now the insurance policy go from 65 down to 20. Because you got penalized.
Yeah.
Then I remember at my mother's funeral, one of her friends did the eulogy. And she was like, she said Yvonne was very prideful, and there's certain things you don't tell people. Yeah, you don't tell your son who used to ride on priorities, you don't tell him that you done gave these white folks $250,000. So you thought more of them than you did your own.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. Well, I'll let you continue. I have people up here. Let me bring another person. Virgil Berry's here, but we're gonna start with the Faith Factor. How you doing, Faith?
Hey, what's going on, Chaos?
I'm good.
This is an excellent topic because I don't think that we talk about topics like this in the Black community a lot, where it talks about parenting and how we set our children up for failure by making them entitled, like 50 Cent's son. Here we have 50 Cent, and he was one of the lucky ones. Okay, he was able to, and he was blessed to have a solid music, career. You can, it's arguable whether or not his music is trash or not.
Yeah.
Shout out to CK. He did a reaction on his channel, Reaction Satisfaction, on this very topic, and he had pointed out that 50 Cent's son actually went public saying that his father's music was trash.
Wow.
So how is it that you expect your father to be able to continue to give you anything, but you're going to turn around and try to tear down his legacy? I don't think anybody's really even talking about that part.
Yeah, man, that's some new information in regards. He's talking crap about his father's music. If you forgot, when the album actually dropped back 19 years ago, Get Rich Die Trying, it was one of the last few CDs that came out on the street that hit quadruple platinum. After 2003, most CDs, especially rap at that time, don't even come close now. He was the last lucky one to bust like that very fast in the last 19 years before music started to really go really digital the next year or two later. So, his son don't understand how much work his father put into it, put himself where he is now, to create the enemies he did just for a greater buzz and attention that got him where he is now. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, that sense of entitlement, it seems to me like his son might have gotten a lot of that from the mom. I think the mom was kind of bitter after they broke up and after her child support got reduced from 25,000 to 6,700. And so he's sounding kind of like a woman, the things that his son is going around saying is something that a bitter, just jilted woman would say, like, I need more money, that the arguments he's making is arguments that, again, shout out to Commendable K. He said this. He said these are arguments that his mom should have made, not him as a grown man.
Yeah, I agree. And to see their relationship being put out in full display, I don't like it personally, between a father and a son, the way they do it. But like I said, we like to watch certain fuckery like this on social media. But when we look at it in a more deeper context of anything, it's not only a bad look, but it's something that's reflected that we could, even as men, could learn from. That either if you have the means or whatever, that is very imperative and vital that you had to get custody of your sons. in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want our children to get to the point like what we're seeing now. And we have some children that's adults that feel they're entitled like this, or wherever case may be. But like I said, if you have the means, you should go far and beyond, just for the safety and development of your future prodigies. And that's something that's not really discussed. Some people feel say that the boy should for the streets. I get it, but once you have the means to really snatch him, you need to do so. I don't care what situation you are. You got to do that. Because there's no way that there should be a rip between your oldest. And if you listen earlier, Faith, that even his father had a plan to say make him not only self-sufficient, but he said he could make more money than him, and he doesn't need him. So not only that, he'll want you to be even better with this move if you do it right to your passion, and you don't have to worry about start from scratch. Let's say you have a facility, you have the shoes, just make it happen. You get me? And trust me, it will work, because he did the number crunching, saying, well, most of these online shoe stores, they're making close to almost $500 million. So imagine
That's
now
true.
you're his son, and he has not only the clout, he could put you on some serious game with the clout to make you even much more filthy rich and much bigger than him. But let's be honest, his father might get somebody, but he's not really looking forward to getting anything from his son. He just wants his son to prosper. So that way, you'll be good, son. So if it happens to me, you're good and you're well good. You get me? He said for all his accomplishments, he puts it as a plaque and nothing else. And one thing he, like any father wants to see, he wants to see his children do much better than him to things that he never had. Now, it goes at the end of the day, will bite him in the ass when you give a child everything. This is what happens. But still, I think in my point, there should be things done much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
this
50
could
Cent.
be actually avoided personally. A lot of people think he can't. No, if you have the necessary means, regardless of the systems, you gotta make it possible now. There's no excuse at this point.
But at this point, the boy is past 25. This should have been instilled in him way earlier than that. Like when the boy was 13, 50 Cent should have been taking time to spend time with his oldest son, who he said was his inspiration at one point. If your son is that much of an inspiration for you, then you should have taken your inspiration with you and been teaching him the trade. And maybe showing him, how to get it on his own. But now you've pretty much cultivated a life for this boy where he's just entitled. He just thinks money grows on trees. He doesn't care where it comes from. All he knows is that he gets it and he spends it.
Yeah.
So, 50 dropped the ball on that. It just seems as if to me that 50 was like more all into himself and his own life after he got famous, and he just forgot about his legacy.
Yeah. But I got Virgil on the panel. Virgil, what's up?
What's up with you, bro?
What's good? That was a good stream you did on the weirdos of the other community, but we're not going to that. We're going to focus on that. Yeah. So overall, cause you've been watching this, and I think Red said something about this. I didn't catch the stream if he did talk about this, but let's be honest, from your perspective. From the title at hand, do you think that he has failed as a father?
To a degree, yeah, he did. We just gotta be fair. You know what I mean? Like the sister right here just said. Him being in the position he was in, he could have made better steps to be more involved in his son's life. You know what I'm saying? And to take him underneath his wing and put him underneath the deodorant, what I'm talking about? Put him underneath the armpit and show him the ropes, so to speak. I mean, if he really cared about him learning the business and all that, though. But you know what I'm saying? So I definitely have to agree with her, and and with the whole sentiment that he did fail in that aspect. He did. You know what I'm saying? Because there's accountability on both sides. But I also agree that he acting very feminine. And clearly we can see that that's coming from his mom, you know what I'm saying, who's a major influence. 50 of them repeatedly went on numerous radio shows talking about this. And, And one thing I can say about 50, he don't shy away from talking about it. So I respect him for that. You know what I'm saying? But if I had a son like that, you know what I'm saying? But then you got, and then obviously gotta be the devil's advocate, with the lack of a better term. How do we know that 50 wasn't trying to be involved? Maybe he didn't want his son to be around what he was exposed himself to in this music industry. You gotta think 50 has made it to a level in the industry to where, you know, he coming across certain situations, man. So, you know, maybe he ain't want his son to be a part of that.
Yeah, man. And interesting thing about the music business that I think he wanted to be so-called inspired rapper, because he did say he had a single out from the Newsweek article. You know, that was like 4 years ago, which no one ever heard because, you know, it was not really relevant personally, because it probably flopped because anything that you put out and you're a son, and I haven't heard about it. No one else has, but it's not a story that, you know, you should have probably took your father's advice at the time. But, you know, like I said, when you're around your mother and the mother has other ideas because she feels she's entitled to a whole bunch of money, but in the state of New York, how the thing, if you're not in a relationship and you put somebody on child support, you're not going to be getting like $1 million or 50 million, what she's asking for. That's not how things work. But, and it lets you know that 50 is not no fool, because he knows the law of the land he's in, and he knows what she wanted and what she feels she's owed. But I say, does the state that you deserve this? Because by doing that, and let's be honest, she probably listened to other women in regards to like try to go get him. He did, and this is the problem with a lot of women today. And Faith's up here, and she could probably explain better that. And I'll probably ask Faith a question. In your mind, Faith, in what time you think it's right for women to listen to other women in regards to advice, in regards to relationship?
That's a good question.
That's a question.
Well, it depends on the type of women, the type of experience those women have as far as sustaining relationships. Because you could listen to some married women, like there are plenty of married women out here, but are those marriages successful? Are those women happy in those marriages? You know, those are things that I would have to ask myself before taking advice from any woman. You know, you can't just take advice from any woman, just like as a man, you can't take advice from any man.
Yeah, correct.
So those are definitely things that I would take into consideration. So when is a good time to take advice from another woman is when you see that that woman is in a successful relationship or a successful marriage. And you know, you can actually, you know, tell that, okay, this woman has actually been through some things and she knows what she's talking about, because I'm seeing the actual result in this woman's marriage and her relationship right now. So that's when you should take advice.
Faith, you think that friend, I know you're a woman up here, that you should have like a set of females, not only you trust, but some that are married and some that are single, or it should be all cross board women that are in harmonious relationship that does lead to marriage, that are in certain friendship circles for majority women, that it should have more to really have these conversations, or, you know, to really look to lean for?
Well, for me, I mean, it doesn't really matter as far as like whether the friends are single or married. What matters is whether the friends have a stable and sound mind. Because, like, say for instance, you're the first person to get married in your group of friends. Well, that means that the rest of your group of friends just haven't gotten married yet. So that's not to say that you're just going to stop being friends with them because you got married. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
But as long as they're not talking trash to you about your relationship, you know, I don't see any problem with there being like a mixed group of friends. No.
Well, you know, with a lot of women, and if you haven't something that's going well, good, you know, there's gonna be some spite in it, you know, because they're gonna look at saying, instead of looking to you for advice to how you do it, and either emulate or try to better themselves so they could possibly put in some position to get, you know, the same results. That some women, unfortunately, they've, and you've seen firsthand, they're not willing to learn or do what's necessary to, you know, get a different outcome. You know, nothing's perfect. I said this earlier in the broadcast. But if someone's doing something good, the next best thing you as a person, if you're single out here, that it wouldn't hurt to not only take advice, but take some pointers of what to do different and to really get a totally different outcome. And instead of trying to spite and hate on the next person, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that's only natural. Like, I've heard commentary from women online, and these are women that are single and they're like way up in their 40s and 50s, and they're saying, hey, you know, don't take advice from your man. You know, your man is just there for one thing and one thing only, but you can get better, you know, emotional stability from other women. And I don't view that as being very good advice, because once you're in a relationship, you're no longer in a relationship. You're not in a relationship with your friends. You chose a life partner. So, you know, telling other women not to listen to their life partner, well, you're setting that woman up for failure.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, women need to stay a certain part of lane, especially now that you're in a partner in a relationship that, you know, you have to respect it at the end of the day. Because, and like I said, it comes to a point that if the boundaries are not set, especially if you have friends that long time and they don't understand, then that's the point where most people have to start dissolve certain friendships. And usually certain friendships going to dissolve in its own recourse naturally anyway.
Exactly. And you're right. You know, the boundary part of it, you hit the nail on the head with that. Boundaries is key, because if you let people come in and just spew any type of advice towards you or start talking down on your relationship, then you have to really give that friend a side eye. Like, why are you even doing this? You know, like you should really want to see me succeed, you know, in my relationship, especially if you see that it's a good relationship. The person is not being what they call they're not being abusive. You know, it's not a bad situation at all. And you're here talking down on my situation, almost as if you're trying to pull me away from my man. Yeah, I would have to look at that person with the side eye.
And you always said it best, Faith, and I don't know if I said this, that being alone is not a hurtful thing for most people. But people got to understand, if you're going to be alone and someone else is in a relationship, you're going to have to, like I said, respect people's not only privacy boundaries. You know what I'm saying? If they seek for your help, that they will seek it and ask for it. And that's when you come in and give your perspective. You won't tell people how they should run their life, but to give a certain perspective, you know? And I think a lot of people, they don't stay in their lanes. You get me? And especially if you tell people your deepest secrets about your relationship, you know damn sure they're going to start squeaking out on other people and tell everybody else. And it becomes a greater problem.
Yeah, and what kills me is when you trust a friend, you know, with personal information about your relationship, you don't tell your friends, you know, certain things. You're just using them as a sounding board and maybe, you know, try to bounce some information off each other. But it's not for them to run and start rumors about your relationship. I don't know any relationship that isn't without any problems. Like, all couples are going to go through trials and tribulations in a relationship. So I don't even know why people, you know, run around and be like, oh, they having problems and this, that, and the other, like they so happy or something. Like, all couples are going to have trials and tribulations in their relationships. And that's just something that they're going to have to overcome. So I don't even get why people even do that.
You know, since I have two y'all on the panel, and I saw this, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do content, but I ask y'all the question. Because one artist said it best, that social media has destroyed relationships. Do y'all agree or disagree with that?
Definitely agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
And anyone to give reason why, if it is in that sense?
Oh, it's a lot of different reasons, man. You know what I'm saying? But the one main reason is because it was meant to. It was meant to do that. No, you know what I'm saying? Ain't really nothing social about it if you think about it. Look how we're interacting with each other right now. What's social about this? And in what manner is it social? Right? Y'all think we're interacting right now through devices and computers and frequencies and airwaves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That takes away the social aspect of right now because we're all sitting in the comfort of our homes. So it's an illusory thought process or construct in itself right there. But it was designed to do that though. And then when it comes to relationships, you know what I'm saying, when we put on these superficial avatars, these blown out of proportion lifestyle where everybody's just balling and everybody's life is just great, like the sister just said, you know, everybody be portraying like everything's just good, like something like if you got problems or issues in your relationship, something's wrong with you, and that's actually the norm. It's totally rewiring our way we perceive reality.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly because I remember back in the day when people would go to the elders and, you know, have problems in their relationship. The elders actually gave them solutions. But now if you go and tell somebody you got a problem with your relationship, you're not going to get any solutions. You're going to be like, girl, leave him, you know.
Yeah, just get out. You know what I'm saying? Just nobody deal with it, you know, just run. You know, just when it gets too tough, you just leave, you know. Yeah, I agree. I mean, people don't know how to resolve problems, and you have to work things out. Every time the things get tough and you have to just exit, in my opinion, Faith, Virgil, I would tell people you're not meant for relationships. It'd be off you stay single until you resolve those little issues you have within yourself. Because life is not always going to be able to keep escaping. It goes back to the notion of the failure piece. In life, you're going to fail. When it gets tough, you're going to just quit. You're not going to try to tap again. And I think that it adds on to why we operate the way we operate now. Especially when young ladies or women that when things go up, they're at as fucking leave bounce songs because they don't want to engage in failure. So yeah. We hurt ourselves at the end of the day with our actions instead of resolving the simple issues. And instead of finding people that we could trust or, you know, lean on somebody and then eventually figure it out, we just like to take the easy way out and just not deal with it all. Okay. I said earlier, Faith, that you hear people throughout social media and other avenues preaching scarcity and fear to a lot of young people. And to me, I look at it now, that's a no-no. Young people should be the ones more eager to take more risk and fail than us. You know what I'm saying? And relationships work. If we're not engaged, you're never going to know. You're not going to learn. It goes back like Virgil, like, you know, when I talk about that these dudes paying for it, I say that's a cheap way out. It's a cheap way out. Right. You might not guess. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying it definitely is, and you know, as an ex-trick nigga, you hear me?
Yeah.
Right now, when I was sitting in the joint, man, thinking about all the money I wasted on them dumbass strippers and strip clubs and stuff, I was pissed at myself, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, as a person who has evolved from that mindset, man, that trick mindset is a strong spirit, man. You hear me, man? And when you work away from that, you start realizing and realizing and seeing, like, man, I was really on some stupid sucker ass shit. Excuse my language. I was on some super lame stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you said earlier, it's just that's like cheating, man. Like, especially if you just, you know what I'm saying, focus on who you are as a man and define that and refine that. You know what I'm saying? Like you won't have to ever have to get in the thought process of, you know, you want to spend some money just to have your way sexually with a woman, and you know what I mean. And then that goes to part two. Chaos is controlling our desires, not being consumed and controlled by our lust as men, because men aren't consumed or controlled by their lust.
Yes. Oh yes.
I got a question for both of the men on the panel.
Yeah.
What if it were like the other way around? And what if you were in a long-term relationship or married even to a woman, and you find out that she might be, you know, thinking about stepping out or probably have stepped out? Like what advice would you give to a friend that came to you and said, hey, you know, I found out that my woman or my wife is cheating on me?
Well,
I'll let you say something first. Since it's your show, Rain, I'm gonna fall back and let you answer that.
Well, if unless it's proven evident, and there's ways to find out. I ain't gonna say how, this guy's giving too much secrets. But I'll say is if there's inclination that you feel your woman might have stepped out either in the relationship or in the marriage, I would say, brother, I hope you got your paperwork in order, because two things gonna happen. Either if you're married, either you're gonna sit there and say dissolve the marriage, or you're gonna stick by her side as one or the other. And you know how most dudes think, they can't have a woman start to cheat on them. And trust me, there are some dudes that today, if they're raised by certain, they're not gonna handle it nice. They might take aggressive means. And I'm just keeping it real with you. A lot of dudes don't have the mental capability, depending on how they're raised, to handle that. Now, some dudes will sit there, let's say, oh, they'll cuss out and they might do something. Some dudes will say, oh, really? I don't want to see this woman, man. I'm a method. And then you have his boys to calm down. And then after a while, they say, yo, listen, if you're married, two things: you're going to have to divorce that chick, or you're going to have to stick by it. One or the other. There's no in between if it comes across. That's my only answer. Now, Virtue, you have the floor. Yeah.
Man, listen here.
I'm curious.
For you. It's curtains for you. I'm gonna say this is why I'm gonna say, because and this is not an excuse. This is just what I know it. Not only do I believe this, but I know it to be true over our history of human existence, man. Like, and I know women and females, and I say women and females because there's a difference, right? I don't care how anybody feels about if you know women and females. When it comes to them, like, we're kind of designed to be this way, but you got to understand what I'm saying when I say what I'm saying, man. I'm not saying in the sense that we could just frolic around and just stick our things and whatever, because that's not what men do. First off top, anyway. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, like, we're more equipped to be promiscuous. Not saying that we should be. Not saying that it's in our best nature to be. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to y'all, see, when females cheat, and the only way you can cheat is if you're married. So if you ain't married, it ain't cheating anyway. You just fornicating. You hear me? But if we're married and you cheat on your husband, or your husband being a wife or a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, when y'all do that, y'all don't do it just out. We're talking about women now, right? Women don't just cheat on their husbands and just go let somebody ram pipe up in them and just come home to their husband. Like, no, it's some stuff that happened, some type of spirits done crept up in there, some type of jealousy or some type of thing, rift in the relationship is going on, some attention not being given or not being paid attention to enough, or whatever it could possibly be. It's some emotional stuff, right? Women just don't go out and just go cheat on their husband because they want some strange pipe.
Exactly. See, now that's what I was looking to hear, like somebody to say, like, okay, you need to get down to the bottom of why the cheating happened. But it seems as if, like, both of you guys are like leaning towards, okay, yes, she got to go though. You know?
And we talking about marriage now. We're gonna talk about marriage. She would have to go, as far as I'm not sure. I would have to check with my pops did this though, but I'm pretty sure if fornication is
Okay, but okay, what if it was your friend's wife? Okay, they got kids, they've been married for a little while. I mean, come on, you're gonna tell them.
I want to say just go ahead and kill the marriage, but we definitely gonna be married but separate. How about that?
Wow,
we can figure
that's the advice you would give your friend.
Yeah, I will definitely tell him that. Definitely tell him that.
Okay, how is that going to make anything better?
Because that's a situation where him and his wife or whoever will have to figure that out. Because as a man, you don't want your once your woman get that spirit attached to her cheating and got let some other dude that rammed up in her 9 times out of 10, she let the nigga hit her raw, because that's just what chicks do. You know what I'm saying? So she got that.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it 1,000 now. Yeah, I'm telling you what I know. I ain't just saying crazy stuff. I'm telling you what I know to be true. You hear me? Yeah, straight like that. So we're gonna sit up there and talk about a soul attachment with another man, and you bringing that energy up in my. Oh no. It's a lot different on y'all's end. I know that sounds crazy. It's not fair, but it is what it is.
It
Right?
really isn't fair because okay, if a man cheats, the woman is expected to forgive the man, especially if that's her husband, and try to keep the family together.
Not necessarily expected to keep it together because if let's say it's gonna keep it fair, since everybody want to be fair, we'll keep it fair. Okay, say you got salty because your husband cheated. You know what I'm saying? If you decided that was something to make you not want to be with him, especially sexually anymore, you wouldn't. Most women wouldn't be willing to work out a separate but equal situation. They'd be going in for the kill and half of everything instead of something mutual that benefits the children, right? Or right, they will be the rare woman who will be willing to do so, and that's why I say separate but equal when you're in
Well,
that.
I don't think that that's rare. I think that women are more willing to take a man back that has cheated, especially if it's her husband.
Oh no, I mean they are though too. I'm talking about under certain circumstances though. You feel what I'm saying? Like let's say if it was the rare circumstance where a chick was like, you know what, but we want to keep it in the confines of marriage now though, right? So we're gonna still remain married. We're just not going to like engage with each other in that manner, and we can figure something out mutually for the children. How many women would be okay with that right there?
So basically, the marriage would just be a
marriage.
It would be a contract, and basically, the love would be gone.
Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this now we get into another arena right now though. So when it comes to us men, when we cheat if we decide to, right? It's not ain't got nothing to do with emotional, it's straight physical. And listen here, when most of us, if we got a decent woman by our side, you know what I'm saying, like how she's supposed to be, we tend to not step out and exercise our options. And that's like a paradigm I think a lot of chicks just don't get, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot that go in with that too, though. But you got a lot of dudes out here who just, you know, are consumed by their lust. They just can't help it. They got to have everyone. You know, we was like that when we was young. You know what I'm talking about? When you become a man, like I said, when you become a man, you're not no longer consumed by your lust like that anymore. Especially if you out here handling business, you got stuff going on, you try to create generational wealth, do what you're doing. You ain't got time to be thinking about no bras like that anyway. Especially if they're not contributing with what you got going on.
Right.
Yeah, Faith. Personally, it has to be like that. But as a man, we think a little differently in regards how we deal with the infidelity if our woman step out. And like I said before, it goes two ways. Either you're gonna stay in it or you're just gonna leave when we do, especially if you're married. Now, if like a regular relationship, like most of us are anyway, well, I'm not in a relationship, but everybody else, right? That it's gonna end up the same thing, and it could probably be worse, you know, depending on the dude you deal with. You're dealing with a dude that, you know, is very emotional, outbursts, and you know what I'm talking about, Faith. I would tell the ladies, do you really want to risk, you know, and he gets inclination that you cheat on him? It could go real south very quick.
Sour. You might get one of these old single mama raised dudes, man, crazy ass little dudes.
Bro, yeah. You ever what?
He skin you and make a jacket out your ass or something, man.
Yeah, they talk about nowadays. You see them talking about this is like this type of month, and I'm gonna go in the word because I'm not gonna deal with this algorithm than it is. You know what I'm talking about? That when we got pictures, man. I mean, look at what's his name? What's that basketball player from that plays for the Hornets? That's all you need to know. You get me? And you see how it turned out. He's not in the league right now. He has issues now. That he'd be lucky to get back in the league. You get me? That's what I'm talking
that's true.
So, like I said, it's only go two ways with it. sweetie. If not for you, but anyone
But see, this is the reason why it's really important to have a bond with your partner, because look at the advice that you guys said that you would have for your friend that's going through something like this with their wife or girlfriend. You guys would be like, man, now you either gonna leave or and I just kind of think that especially if they have children together, like just telling somebody to just leave somebody without getting like deep down into what happened. It's kind of irresponsible. That's the reason why people shouldn't listen to their friends.
I mean, that's another way of looking at it on Faith. Wow. And I always contemplate about this, that people should really deal with people that are married in regards to, especially if you're married now you need to deal with somebody, if you could find a friend or someone that you could trust that's been in marriage that's longer than 10, even better 20 years, to have these discussions personally. But like I said, in regards to that advice, that's the only thing I could be honest and say. Now, normally, if I was saying some opposite, I would tell them, say, yo, what would you think? Anything you caused this? And some dudes will, if depending their psychological mindset is, they will go into not being honest if they want to. But overall, when we talk about infidelity and cheating, that's like a whole different thing, and it's not the same from both sides. As much as I want to say it is, it's not. So if it was even, then obviously, personally, if it was really even, Faith, then really truly, then if someone steps out, you have to work it out. You get me?
Well, you know what? Like personally, having been a married woman myself, I would say that cheating, I don't condone cheating. Let me just put that out there. Okay. I don't condone it at all.
Okay.
But it's not the end all and be all of the relationship. It really depends on how the person cheated, if they're, remorseful at all, if they show any type of remorse, or did the person just simply grow apart from you and fall out of love with you. Now, growing apart and just completely falling out of love and just having no respect for the marriage is one thing.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But if the person just did it because they were lacking something from you in the marriage, they still love you, they still want to be with you, but they just didn't know how to communicate to you what it was that they weren't getting. That's a whole nother ball game right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Gotta say that.
I agree. Yeah, but I'm glad you asked that question, Faith. Times I don't mind women ask these questions, and I'm not alone. I have another brother up here to vouch or say something different. So I like that question. Anyway, any closing remarks for you people that's on the panel? That stretches enough.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for having me up. Like I said, 50 Cent, he did an awesome job as far as being a provider, but I do think that he did fail as a father. So, I think two things could be right at the same time. And I think it's one of those situations where, he did good as being a provider, but I just think that he was a little bit self-centered and controlling. And he didn't really take time to groom his son into being a independent-minded, productive young man. And so that's where he dropped the ball. And I will say that he did fail his son in that respect. And with that, I just wanted to say thanks again for having me. And the other gentleman on the panel, it was nice meeting you. And I'm out.
All right. Thank you, Faith. That's the Faith Factor, people. Thank you. Virgil.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Well, I mean, man, like I said, basically just to piggyback off what the sister just said, man, 50 Cent, man, like he did a good job as far as putting himself in a position to where he could be a provider, for his son, so his son didn't have to repeat, or get into the same type of stuff he did at that same when he was a child. But at some point he got disillusioned to where he was probably focused more on his career than rearing his son, and it caused the situation it caused, and his mother had the major influence, and him going on that career he's been involved with just went on the trajectory it went, and it just the relationship probably just got more disillusioned, and and now he's acting like his mom, and so 50 does play a part in this, So we can't remove that from him. So I just say it's just unfortunate that it's all being played out in public. But I gotta take my hat off to 50 for not shying away from just talking about it in public. And he don't make himself to seem like he no victim or nothing, though. I've heard him say many times that it's things he could have done, different. You know what I'm saying? I heard him say this numerous times on numerous platforms. But he also say that not on the other end, he's been manipulated by his mom, and his son is teen mom. So
yeah.
Well, I understand that situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know it's a lot of brothers going through the same situation. You know what I mean? Do y'all really think that 50 ain't really put no effort in trying to really reach out and connect with his son? You know what I'm saying? You think that he ain't like putting no effort into son having one set of power, like come rock with me, or try to soak up some game or something like that? Or could it possibly be possible that young Marquise is so indoctrinated by his mom that when 50 be like, come to the set, be like, nah, I don't want to come to the set with you. You know what I'm talking about? Is he one of them type of little dude? He seemed like he is to me. He seemed like an ungrateful little bastard. That's what he seemed like, man. That's what he seemed like to me. $6,700 a month is living very well in Columbus, Ohio. I wouldn't mind. Let me tell y'all something.
And also in Georgia as well. Okay, they didn't live in New York when. And it probably was for a brief, but they moved out of New York after they're getting that monthly. Because let's be honest, the mother knows if that's what she's going to get monthly. 80 grand in New York is not no money. I'm keeping real. But in another state, especially in down south or even in the upper east coast of Columbus, Ohio, you're doing good if you're making 80K. Matter of fact, Letitia Underwood said if you want a matchmaker or join her service, she always look at your finance and said she looks at most men, if they make roughly 75, you could get in a list of women to potentially be mates. So right there, 75 is the benchmark. If anybody, if they try to pursue or trying to attain, that would be a good start if you could attain and get it. Now, I won't say you kill yourself. I prefer people make as much money you can. Don't cap yourself as a man. Or any person, but if you want to start off anything on a decent spot as a start off, if you can get to that, that's a start. And he was getting well above that. His mother, I'm not sure about him, but his mother's getting that person. You know, so for him to think that 80K ain't nothing, that's your mother talking to you. You get me? Because she feels that you went from 25,000 from this man while with him, that he was giving you tax-free 300K a year, to now getting 80K. So you lost badly just to be a millionaire. And let's be honest, if you're a millionaire, you're going to go broke in less a couple years. Another case in point, before I let you go, Virgil. Dwayne Wade paid his wife to have custody of his two sons. He gave his wife $4 million. You know where she at now? Broke. And that's what's going to fucking happen to Dr. Dre's wife. Because he had a prenup, all she got out of the deal was $100 million. In a house. But you know how much she blows monthly, my dude? 24 million a month.
24 million?
Yes. They did the numbers on this one. So it tells you, ladies, I can see why you need a sponsor and you need some man to say, take care of your life. Because you are too expensive.
Not 24 million a month, man.
24 million a month? And you got out of 7, which really you want to have. Let me tell you something. If anyone was going to get half a man's wealth, you're going to go broke. He's going to go broke. You're going to go broke. And you're going to be on to the next sucker that's not about to take a risk on your ass. You think men now today that got money is stupid? The way how these red pill messages being put out on the internet? Are you serious? Ladies, men are wising up. This is just a fucking fact.
That's a fact. It is.
You can't play these games. I don't care if you're with a black man or a non-black man. They know you're consuming. You're spending frivolously. The government will give you money because they're going to get back with interest. Don't play with me. I'm looking at the math now, and the math don't make sense.
At all.
You making this, and you blowing this? You want more so you could spend more? That don't seem like that's an economic boom for the economy. Last time I checked, Virgil.
Nah,
you're spending more. That's why I can see why they're very weary of giving money to certain gender people. Yes, men are going to keep the money, but they're going to keep what they're going to make use of the money. And I can see why most of them will give other men money. And it makes sense because we're not going to be spending fruitlessly.
Mm-hmm.
But you give it to a woman, nigga. You give a woman that, they're going to think it's like they're going to be living a high like the Jones. Mm-hmm. They're going to be buying all type of unnecessary things. I had a conversation with my good friend Shatter. And one thing he told me that one woman wanted to spend money on a fucking hair that costs almost $1,000. I said, for $1,000, for that money to buy fake hair, you could do more usefulness. Maintaining your natural hair is a necessity, ladies.
Right.
There's no, you can't go around that, sweetie. I'm sorry. For you to spend money on something that don't know where it comes from, and you see how they make this hair, you want to put that on your fucking head? I saw videos. You watch Good Hair?
Yeah, I seen that, and I seen videos. They make them wigs and how they get that processed the hair, synthetic hair, and the human hair and all that stuff. That's crazy, man.
It's crazy. And that's what I'm glad, my man. I don't have to worry about wearing fake hair. And I hear most dudes now are wearing fake beards, and that's not. I'm not going to because that's weird in itself. But let's be honest. Why would you spend something that God by nature grows out your own body?
Right.
And I'm really a person that really talks about this, but I really think critically it's a waste of resource. The only reason why these people make money is by default you're self-hating. Because they're sure as they're not paying for this shit.
Right.
But it sure gives them economic boom to know saying I need to make money. And how I make money? I need to make money off people that are self-hating through what they see through the mirror and what they have on their natural bodies.
That's a fact. I couldn't agree more.
I'll make $1 million to maybe do $1 billion business if done right. So, like I said, if he gave her the money needed, she's gonna go broke in less than a couple years. Yeah. Dwayne Wade's first wife is a good example of it. Regardless of Dwayne Wade is a weirdo himself, but I could see the necessity why he went and decided I'm just gonna pay out and get control of my children, which really is a smart move on his end, personally. Yeah,
and look what he turned around and did, though. So that's crazy. And now she got to deal with that.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy, Anyway, we'll talk another time, Virg. All right.
All right, no doubt, man. Have a good evening, man.
You too. All right. Cool. All right. And thank y'all for listening to today's stream. You know the drill. If you're not subscribed to the Chaos Reign channel, I don't know what the hell you're missing. You know the deal. Hit that red button. Hit that top notification bell, not that middle or low bell. You don't get notifications. That's no good. You don't get nothing from the middle and low. That's garbage. The party where it's at is the top notification bell. That's where you know the live streams and uploads here on the Chaos Reign channel. Also, if you're not like the stream, make sure you hit the like stream on your way out if you last long to this part of the stream. Also, it's vital. You must leave a comment at the end of this video. I want to hear your thoughts on the question here. Did 50 Cent fail as a father? Or any other things you like or dislike about the Chaos Reign channel. Please don't be afraid. Comments are accepted. So post the comments at the end of this video and all videos of the Chaos Reign channel. Also, follow me on Twitter at Chaos Reign 7. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Reign on Facebook, and join the Discord servers. I got a new Discord member on Discord. I'm trying to grow Discord. As you know, it is a private server. Like always, we could chop it up, share posts, conversate. The Discord is open for Chaos Reign. Be the one of many of the ones that will restore the order in which the world we live in today. Join the Discord server of the Chaos Reign channel. The link is on the About section. And that's all the ads and places to follow me, Chaos Reign. That is it. Like always, be tuned in to next live stream. And like always, you know where to find me. Chaos Reign.